It literally feels like my vagina and my groin is being tortured on purpose. I'm wondering if the print is what is actually attracting these lizards. Just a little update. Ain't nothing too special about it. But hey, I still need you to watch it all to the end. So, YouTube channel, guys, as you can see, I'm well relaxed today. I'm a cheetah. I'm in the jungle. And guys, just so you know, I can't be outside in the sun without my glasses, because when light hits the right eye, I actually totally go blind in it. So I have to keep these on. They're pretty fly though, don't they? So guys, today we're going to talk a little bit about what had to happen when I came out of the hospital. So if you watched my last video, and if not, the link is in the bio. I did talk about my skincare routine, my hair care routine, because a girl gotta always look fly, right? So I did start the first part of my physiotherapy when I came out of the hospital in just a bit. So my accident was June 30, 2019. I was in the hospital for 30 days. So I came out on July 30, 2019. And my physiotherapy actually started on August 1st, 2019. So we have all of those dates out of the way. So even though I was home and recuperating and getting ready to start Dina 2.0, being bionic, being British, and living the best life that I can, I actually had to go to the hospital to do regular checkups. So if you're from Montego Bay, Jamaica, you know Cornwall Regional is not a real place, right? Yes, so I was not at all happy that all of my appointments, I had to actually go to Cornwall Regional. And my appointments included the orthopedic surgeon, the eye surgeon, ENT, which is ear, nose, and tongue. I didn't know why I needed that doctor, but I'm gonna let you know why. And also to do dressing, because I would have come out of the hospital with stitches for my right hip, so those had to be taken care of. And you know what a C-section cut does to you, right? If you cough, it hurts. If you sneeze, it hurts. If you laugh, it hurts. If you move too much, it hurts. And I can tell you guys, at one point my stitches fell out. But anyways, let's take a look at what happened, right? So these were all my appointment cards, right? And then I started to go to the orthopedic clinic on the 12th of August, and I started to go to the eye clinic actually on the 9th of September. And then I started to go to the ENT clinic on the 13th of August. And then this one here was what I got to do plastic surgery for my eye. So going to Cornwall Regional was like this. So my mother would actually get up at about 5:30. She reaches the hospital at 6 o'clock to give my appointment card to the security, so I can actually be one of the first persons that get through before 12 o'clock, because all my appointments were 8 o'clock. That did not change where I went and how I got looked after, because I was at the hospital, and remember, I was immobile, so you had to lift me out of the house in my wheelchair, put me in the car, lift me out of the car, put me into my wheelchair, and then I had to sit there. Videos. I didn't really make my mind up to do a YouTube channel as yet, so all my experiences going to the hospital on basically a weekly basis, I don't have much footage of it, but I do have a little bit of snippets. Sorry, I do have some snippets of snapping while I was at the hospital, because most of the time what I did was actually play Candy Crush Saga, or I actually listened and watched everything that was happening, because I was just so astonished that the hospital had to use the church's education center. They actually had to transform it into the clinic for the hospital, or the accident and emergency part of the hospital. So there were dozens of people, dozens of clinics, and I mean the doctors moved as fast as they could, but for me it was like eternity. So the very first time that I went to Cornwall Regional for my orthopedic surgeon, I long. So after about 25 minutes in the wheelchair, I had pains on my left side and on my right hip because apparently sitting down, it really felt like all the metal was just coming down and expanding, and so I couldn't feel my legs half of the time. And then on the other instance, what happened is that the pain was so unbearable, I had to be moving from side to side to, like, push the pain over side to side, until the porters actually had to move me from my wheelchair and put me into a stretcher. And that was just my first day. So being my first time out of my house and into the clinic to get checked up was one of the worst experiences ever. I mean, between the facility and the doctors, well, because I had a team of 4 doctors, all my doctors were on the orthopedic clinic at the hospital, so of course they knew me by name, and they tried their very best to assist me as best as possible, but protocols and all of that. Fast forwarding to all my hospital visits, because after after August, by September, I stopped going to Cornwall Regional altogether because it made no sense. So, and basically my cut was healed, so I didn't really have to go. But then my orthopedic clinic was very good. My orthopedic surgeons took real good care of me. They removed the stitches. I mean, at one point when my stitches actually came out, they tried to convince me that I had to be readmitted into Falmouth Hospital. Who did they think was going to do that? I would have preferred to be stitched again at the clinic and go home, because being at Falmouth Hospital, as you can see in my video that says 1 month of hospital hell, I wasn't going to go back to hell willingly. So my orthopedic clinic was a breeze, and I went to my eye doctor, well, my eye clinic, and basically they were telling me there's nothing they can do for the eye. I mean, they kept checking the eye, but hey, all the checks that they made, they really couldn't assist me, because they couldn't tell what was happening because so much fluid was behind the retina. And as you already know, my right eye is damaged because of the head trauma and the laceration to my eye. And so in pushing back my eyeball, my pupil is damaged beyond repair, and my retina is also damaged, and the lens in my eye goes around this side. So looking straight at you guys with my right eye without these glasses, I cannot see. And if I turn my head this way, I can basically see you perfectly, like nothing's wrong with my eyes. So in order to fix the eye, it makes no sense. So we can do surgery on the right eye, but in healing, I would actually go blind at the same time. And who wants to go blind now? I would prefer to gradually go blind. So I moved from all of my clinics into a private practice because, face it, I'm spoiled and I hate pain, and my parents hate to see me in pain. So of course we had to do another alternative. Juicy. So as I said, orthopedic clinic was great. Moved from orthopedic clinic at Cornwall Regional Hospital and went into private, which would be Dr. Gilbert's office at GUS, and that turned out to be okay. Here comes the fun part. So ENT, when I looked it up, meant ears, nose, and tongue clinic. Now, based on my knowledge, there was nothing wrong with my ears, nothing wrong with my nose, and nothing wrong with my tongue or throat area from my accident. But just like how I learned 30 days later after my accident that I had fractured ribs, hey, I was not surprised at anything at this point. So my ENT clinic, when I saw that doctor, he actually told me that I was referred to that clinic because the bones in my face were fractured. And I said, okay, so some bones were fractured. He said, no, almost all the bones, over 80% of the bones in my face were fractured. So because of the bones in my face being fractured, then it could affect like my nasal cavity, and it could affect my tonsils and my trachea and all of that, which is why I was sent to that clinic. However, he could not help me, and I was referred to private doctor, which was FOSA, and we'll talk about FOSA in a minute, well, in the next video, right? FOSA is actually a facial surgeon, and they deal with accident victims just like myself in restructuring your bone and ensuring that any break or fracture is healed properly. With my eye doctor, trust me, eye clinic was awesome. I had a colleague that I knew way back when. He took really good care of me. He was the one that actually saved my eye. Thank you, Marlon. And every step of the way he checked on me. In my last few days of going to my eye clinic, they said that there was a hole behind my retina. Now, because the hole was behind my retina, they could not assist me, and it would require me having surgery done. So they also referred me to the private doctor in Kingston, which is Dr. Calder. And I can tell you, those Kingston trips, y'all are not going to want to miss. So, yeah. So, basically, for 1 month, let's say for August and for the first 2 weeks in September, I was going back and forth to Cornwall Regional, going to all these doctors that eventually had to put me in private care because they couldn't help me from a public standpoint. And I was very grateful for that, and I was grateful for my parents, because you all know private facilities are an arm, a leg, and probably 3 toes when it comes to expenses. Basically, it wasn't really, so traumatic for me. The most traumatic part of going to Cornwall Regional was actually having my father to lift me out of bed, put me in my wheelchair, lift me out of the wheelchair, put me in the car, lift me out of the car and put me in the wheelchair, and sitting and waiting for hours, even though my mother made it a point of her duty to actually drop my card off at 6 a.m. Also, about 2 times they hit me off my chair. So this is it. When you hit me when I'm in the wheelchair, and especially when you hit my foot, it's like the pain I feel is like your hand stretching like this. And because on my right side it's my hip and my pelvis, it literally feels like my vagina and my groin is being tortured on purpose. That's how bad the pain is. And then the pain moves from my right side over into my left side, and then it feels like all the metal on my bottom half is literally all expanding at the same time. So sitting up and turning sideways and moving when I was immobile was some of the hardest things. And you will see some very simple everyday things that I'm currently going through that has now been a burden for me, and it's a hurdle every day, but it's easy for you. So as I said, I have a lot of stuff to get through with you guys, but I wanted to catch you up, as in I wanted you to understand like the different processes that I'm going through in order to reach talking to you, even sitting up okay today. So we're gonna look at FOSA, which that's the facial surgeon that I had to be referred to. We're gonna look at Dr. Calder, which, sorry guys, I just heard a noise, and when I looked it was actually lizards playing, and a girl is afraid of lizards. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, so FOSA is a facial surgeon, Dr. Calder is my eye surgeon, Dr. Williams is also my eye surgeon that's supposed to fix my eyelid, Dr. Gilbert is my orthopedic surgeon. And so we're gonna look at that collectively, to see how we moved from one process to the next, and how I transitioned and what happened. So yeah, take a look at some of the snippets that I snapped while I was waiting at the hospital. I mean, it's not a lot, but you get how I entertained myself while I was waiting. So guys, this is just a little review. Lizard again, sorry. what about this lizard life at all? Yeah, so guys, this is just an update basically of what happened when I came out of the hospital, because as I said, I would have come out with my surgery wounds not healed. I would have had stitches in my right side where my C-section cut is, and I would need to be going for checkups because they gave me 3 months to be completely healed. And so, oh my god, these people are such characters. Yeah, so they actually gave me 3 months to heal from my surgery, and then after the 3 months the doctor said I should be able to walk. So my last surgery was the last Thursday in July, and so that would mean August, September, October. So by November of 2019 they said I should be walking fine. Y'all gonna see when I started to walk. Trust me. You're not gonna even believe it. Because when you put your mind to something, yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So I had to be checked on regularly, and that's basically what my Kona regional trips were all about. Ensuring that the metals were in place, ensure that any pain medication that I needed or I need to be refilled, I got those. Of course, I suffered with asthma before my accident, and after my accident it has been completely worse. So every now and again I go like this. It's not really that I'm dying. It's just that it automatically happens. It's like my respiratory system is rebooting on its own after breathing so long or talking so long. I go, it's like I have to catch my breath, and breathing starts all over again. So that's something I'm not going to get rid of. So if you're talking to me and that happens, don't be alarmed. It's just part of the new me. You get what I'm saying? So guys, thank you so much for watching my channel again. As I said, it's just a little update. Ain't nothing too special about it. But hey, I still need you to watch it all to the end. So remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the notification bell, because I think I'm gonna get you guys something nice for Friday, and I don't want you to miss out on it at all. I need to get out of here because these lizards are on a rampage. So it is your British Bionic Babe coming to you again in all my animal print. I'm wondering if the print is what is actually attracting these lizards. Anyways guys, it's been real always. Mwah.